You've tuned in to The Mountain Gardener with local garden expert Ken Lane. Join him each week as he answers timely garden questions that are sure to make a difference in your gardens. Now welcome your host, Ken Lane.
So there's a beautiful moth flying around the garden. It looks like a hummingbird, but it's not. The wings look like a hummingbird, but it's got a real long proboscis, doesn't have the same eyes. It's got a kind of a gray to brown marking to it. It's a very pretty moth. It's called a sphinx moth or hummingbird moth. Now, the hummingbird moth is a great pollinator. It goes around taking flowers and pollen. It's a good guy. But the larva turns into a green caterpillar called the green tomato hornworm. So that great big worm that gets in the garden and basically strips tomatoes, peppers, can get on several things, but it's tomato worm. It's kind of its famous for, but and they can take a plant down to the stubs in days. If you blink, they'll strip it clean. So, and you'll see just brown little poop marks on the foliage. You'll see leaves gone, and they're hard to spot because they take on the same color as the thing that they're eating. And so tomato worms, when you're seeing the sphinx moth, that hummingbird moth float around the gardens, you should be diligent and keeping an eye on that first bit of foliage that gets damaged. Get on it and treat that. So that worm is that caterpillar is very easy to treat. You simply spray the foliage of your plant with an organic called BT, B as in boy, T as in Tom, BT. It's an organic. Basically, it causes a caterpillar to stop eating and they starve to death. So they'll immediately stop stripping your plants. Literally, I've seen tomato hornworms eating jalapeno peppers, not the foliage, the pepper. Come on, now that's an insult. That's not going to happen. I'm going to deal with you if that's the case. I'm going to spritz the foliage with BT. They're going to come out that evening, start eating. They're going to get sick to their stomach, and they're just going to hang on the vine and finally drop off from starvation. So keep an eye, just be aware. It is time for them to show up. And so I want my friends, my name's Ken, we're just friends, we're talking over the back fence, and these are things I've seen in the past that you probably want to kind of be aware of. And so just kind of watch that. Classes. We've got several really good garden classes that are coming up. I mean, this weekend it's gardening for newcomers. And I think Lisa's going to teach that one. Just this is what zones are we? When are frost dates? What can you plant and when? How are we different than other places? Next week, I'm teaching that one. It's the top 10 trees and how to plant them. These are the big boys. Some evergreens. I'm sure I'll mix evergreens and maybe leafy things. And then climbers and covers in the landscape. Vines. Ground covers, the different types you're seeing bloom now, whether it's up a barbed wire fence, up a chain link, up a block, just up a hillside. We'll cover those. Then easy to grow mountain plants. What are the easiest ones? I don't know where to start. Start with these. They're super easy. And it keeps going. So take a look at all of those at watersgardencenter.com. Right on the very front, there's a classes button. They're always free. They're always on Saturday, and they're at 9:30. Go for about an hour. Last week, we went for an hour and a half because the students were really into it. They just had a lot of great questions. And I let them go when they wanted, but they just had a lot of great questions. And so I kind of hung out, just answered those. So but generally about an hour and 15, something like that. And then you're gone. You can go shop for gardens, plants, or head home and have another latte, whatever you want. So throughout the week, Lisa and I camp out here at Waters Garden Center. We love talking to fans of the show. If you like this show, like it, subscribe it, kind of let us know that you're listening, tuned in, and what you like most about it. We'd love that.
If you want a more fruitful garden, increase success in your landscape that just feels better, then tune in every week to The Mountain Gardener. Years of tips, tricks, and garden shortcuts are guaranteed to make your gardens nicer than ever. Listen to this podcast or read Ken's weekly garden column by visiting watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com. Thanks for tuning in.
If you enjoy this show and would like to hear more, please subscribe to The Mountain Gardener, wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And if you'd like even more garden tips, tricks, and helpful advice, please check out my website at watersgardencenter.com for classes, videos, and more, or my online garden center at top10plants.com. Throughout the week, Lisa and I can be found here at Waters Garden Center in Prescott.